today's today's program are held in or was held in Dhaka University, ma'am. That's why Nadim has a treat that night. It may be, ma'am, 11 o'clock, ma'am. I think that's why he will not able to continue discuss. But, ma'am, I cannot know about his uh, joining this class.
Okay, okay. We don't know the. Okay, okay. If he will join, then you don't know, but most probably he won't be joining. Right. So, the last four, the story, it's not Phoebe, okay? It's four, the last four. So, the story was, and what was the story about, and what did you find while going through the story? Please tell us. Mahmoud, could you hear?
Ji, ma'am. Ma'am, is there the foe is a name of a girl? Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, it's a girl.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I went through the video. It was a very beautiful story, and there was a old farmer who lived in a village with his wife. His wife's name is Fo, and they lived together since a long time. And there was a beautiful farm, and this farm was fulfilled with pigs and chickens, and also there were a crop field, and
Yes, ma'am. Maman, I can't hear you. Are you speaking?
okay, ma'am. They passed their life in such a very beautiful way, and sometimes the old farmer, whose name was Henry, uh, he feel that he thought about his date, and during his thought, uh, he speaks his word very loudly voice, and he asked his wife, where is my corn peep? That time his wife replied that you are always talking things,
Mamun, it's replied, okay? Not replayed, it's replied.
ma'am, replied. You are always talking things that belongs to me. And his wife replied that if you keep talking like that, I will go away. And when I will leave you, what would you do? Anybody? There is nobody look after of him, and your corn pip is on the table where you put in only you put in on the table. And one day, his wife has become very sick, and he dead. And after his wife dead, the old man feel
Died,
very
died.
lonely.
Mamun, wife died, not dead. Died.
Died.
The Karon Because dead means mrito and died means mara gechilo. Okay. So one is noun, another one is verb. So died.
died, and he feels a very loneliness. And his neighbor said to him, "Please come with me and live with us." But he said to his neighbor, I don't leave this place because my wife was laying uh, on this place. That's why I will stay in this place. And at the day, the old man tried to complete his farm work, and when it became at the night, he feels very loneliness, and he was passing his life by
He seems very
talking.
lonely. He seems very lonely. Lonely. Not loneliness. Lonely, okay?
You know, lonely, and he was passing his time by reading newspaper, but he doesn't feel very good. uh, 5 months later, there was a change in his life, and one day he had gone to his bed, and he noticed that there was a bright star in the sky, and the star made a shadow uh, on the chair, which sat on his wife before, and he uh, seeing this shadow, the old man said that, "Have you come back, Phoebe?" And he didn't hearing any kinds of
Phobe.
uh,
It's not phobia. It's phobe.
foe, and he didn't hear any kinds of voice from this shadow, and that's why he woke up, and he went to the chair very slowly. But when he reached the chair, he saw that uh, there is no human shape. There was a old old cloth, which is his wife own when he was alive in the world. It is happening since about 5 or 6 months, and one
It
day
happened.
the
It happened. It happened, okay? It happened about 5 or 6 times since
it
6 months,
happened.
okay?
It happened 5 or 6 months, and the old man believed that his wife wasn't died, and because
Did not die. Did not die. Was not died কি করে হয়? Didn't die.
didn't died, and he believed that his wife argued that when his wife argued that about car peep, corn peep, and that he will go away from her husband, and that's why the old man believed that he didn't die, and he was alive. That's why at the morning she went to his neighbor, and he said that, "Have you seen a foe?" And the neighbor replied that, "Who is foe?" And the neighbor said to the old man, "Foe is dead, and you cannot be talking with you because she's no more."
Is died.
But
Is died. She is died. But or sorry, she is dead. Sorry, she is dead and you can't talk to her anymore. She is dead. সে মৃত. Okay? She is dead. She is not died. She is dead. Right. Then continue.
And the old man, she believed that he is stay on the house of his friends. That's why he went to her uh, her 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 wife's friend's house, and but he didn't gate her wife from this house.
Didn't find. Mamun, there is a difference between find and get. Get means find means whenever you are searching for something and you get to find it or you don't. That means you have to use find there. And get means you normally get anything. Somebody gives you something and you get it, or you take it. So there is a difference. Understood, Mamun?
Yeah. It was in the seventh years of looking when the old man went to the red hill, and he was feel very tired, and he slept for his tiredness. But when he woke up, he saw that there was a bright star top of the hill, and it made a shadow like his wife. And he remembered that her young beauty, her warm and her a friendly smile, and her blue dress, which she had worn in their first meet. As a result, the the old man believed that the shadow is his wife, and sometimes later the shadow moving around, and it goes down into beneath the hill, and he said that don't leave me alone, and I'm coming with you. And finally the story was in, and the next day um, people collected his body at top of the mountain, and that time there was a soft smile on his face. The smile had known when foe when foe was alive. From my point of view, it was a beautiful story, and we can say that in this story there was a good relationship in uh, their life, and they spent their life very beautifully. When old man the old man lost his wife, he felt very lonely, and and he gave his valuable life to see a shadow, uh, and he slept and he slept above the hill, and he goes down the uh,
He went down. He went down
hill.
the. Okay, Mamun, one thing that I would want you to do, Mamun, that you speak, yes, it's totally fine, but the way you speak, your way of speaking, um, the it's can you understand, Mamun? I would want you to, and also Nadim, like when both of you are speaking, there is a difference. Whenever you are speaking in Bengali, there is the sentence is filled with all kinds of emotions, and there is surpriseness, there is frustration and all those things. But whenever you are speaking or trying to say any kind of sentences, and you are trying to uh, actually I noticed it, but I didn't give much attention. But as you were getting in that situation now, so I would like you to give more attention to that thing, that it sounds more like, how should I put it, it sounds more like that you have memorized one line, memorized some lines, but actually you haven't. I know that you haven't actually memorized anything. But and after memorizing, when a person speaks and say things, the way of speaking is that way, but the speaking rather should be in a normal way, the way a person speaks to another person through her or their mother tongue, right? So, Mamun, the way that you were describing the things, or maybe whenever you do many debates and these things, I feel like there is a soul of a language. There must be a soul whenever you are describing a language or saying something about a language. There must be a soul. মানে আমি এই যে যেরকম ভাবে কথা বলছি, এই যে যেরকম ভাবে বলছি, যে দেখা গেলো এই যে বাংলাতেও আমি যেরকম ভাবে বলছি, বলার সময় কি হচ্ছে, আচ্ছা, is there any background noises? Can you hear any background noises?
जी मैम।
No, ma'am. Right now, clear, ma'am. এখন
Okay, maybe because some dogs are barking, that's why I asked. All right. Um, কিন্তু দেখুন, এই যে যে হ্যাঁ, জি ম্যাম, জি না ম্যাম, এইখানে এই যে নাদিম বা মামুন দুজনেই বললেন না কথাটা, কথাটা কত সুন্দর, কথার মধ্যে একদম প্রাণ আছে, আপনার নিজের মন থেকে কথাটা বলছেন এরকম মনে হচ্ছে, কথার মধ্যে নিজে থেকেই যে বলছেন, আপনার নিজের মনের সমস্ত রকম অনুভূতি সমস্তটা দিয়ে বলছেন, সেটা বোঝা যাচ্ছে। কিন্তু এই একই জিনিসই যখন ইংলিশে বলছেন না, সেখানে বাদবাকি না থাকুক, বাদবাকি টেন্স ভুল যাক, বাদবাকি সমস্ত কিছুই হোক, কিন্তু ব্যাপারটা মনে হচ্ছে কেমন যেন মুখস্থ করে বলার কথার মতো। লোকে যখন ক্লাসের মধ্যে দাঁড়িয়ে বলে যে এই পড়া বলো, পড়া মুখস্থ বলো, তখন যেরকম লোকে মুখস্থ করে পড়া দিলে যেরকম হয় না, মানে কথা বলার যে থ্রোয়িংটা না, সেটা খানিকটা ওরকম হচ্ছে। এটা আমি এতদিন খেয়াল করেছি, কিন্তু এই জিনিসটা আমার মনে হয় এবার আস্তে আস্তে এই জিনিসটার দিকে আমাদের খেয়াল দেওয়া উচিত। একটা জিনিস আমি নেক্সট দিনের কাজ দেব, যে একটা আমি কোনো রাইটিং দেব, এবং সেই রাইটিংটা আমি চাইবো যে সেটা মানে কোনো একটা গল্প বা যেটা কিছু দেব, সেটা আমি চাইবো যে আপনারা যেন সেটা মানে একবার সেই জিনিসটাই যেটা বুঝলেন সেটা একবার নিজে নিজে বাংলাতে বলবেন, রেকর্ড করবেন, আবার ইংলিশে বলবেন, রেকর্ড করবেন, রেকর্ড করে ওটা আমাকে গ্রুপে হোক কি ইমেইলে হোক, ইমেইলেই পাঠাবেন, যাই হোক। তো এবার গ্রুপে পাঠালেও অসুবিধা নেই, তো আমি সেখান থেকে ইমেইল ট্রান্সফার করে নিতে পারবো হয়তোবা, রাইট? তো বা আমাকে ইমেইল করে পাঠাবেন, সেটা হলে বেশি ভালো হয়। যাই হোক, তো মানে আমি তখন আপনি নিজে যখন শুনবেন না, তখন এটা বুঝতে পারবেন, you will be able to understand that there is a huge difference that you have been making whenever you're speaking in English. There is no liveliness, মানে প্রাণ নেই, কথাটা যে বলছেন, কথাটা যেন আপনি আপনার মন থেকে বলছেন না, যেন জোর করে বানিয়ে এরকম ভাবে কথাটা বলা হচ্ছে। এই জিনিসটা না, এই জিনিসটা খুব ভালোভাবে খেয়াল করতে হবে। আর extra sounds, they are like, you will be able to avoid them, but this thing have no liveliness, have no freshness while we're speaking, that's a problem, right? তো এই জিনিসটাকে কি আমরা বাংলাটা ঠিক যেরকম যেই ফ্লুয়েন্সিতে বলছি, যেরকম ভাবে কথা বলছি, যে ঠিক যখন মামুনকে যখন জিজ্ঞাসা করলাম নাদিম আজকে নাদিম ক্লাসে উপস্থিত আছে কি নেই এরকম, তখন যেরকম মামুন বলল যে হচ্ছে গিয়ে হ্যাঁ নাদিমের আজকে এই প্রোগ্রাম আছে, সেটাও নাদিম নাও জয়েন করতে পারে বা করতেও পারে, এরকম ব্যাপার। তো তখন যখন আপনি বলছিলেন মামুন, তো তখন ইভেন দো ইউ ওয়ার সেইং লাইক দেয়ার ওয়ার সাম এক্সট্রা সাউন্ডস, কিন্তু সেখানে কিন্তু আপনি ওইটা বলবার সময় তার মধ্যে কিন্তু একটা কথার মধ্যে প্রাণ ছিল, কিন্তু যখনই এই যে গল্পটা, যখনই আপনি পড়ে শুনেছেন, কানে শুনে এবার সেইটা যখন আপনি বলছেন, তখন যেন সেই বলাটা মনে হচ্ছে আপনি আপনার নিজের নিজের কথা বলছেন না, যেন কোথাকার একটা মুখস্থ জিনিস সেটা বলছেন। এই জিনিসটা নাদিমের ক্ষেত্রেও দেখেছি যে এরকম একটা ব্যাপার। তো এই জিনিসটাকে না অ্যাভয়েড করতে হবে। মামুন, এটা কি একটু কি বুঝতে পারছেন যে মানে যে আমি ঠিক কি বোঝাতে চাইছি?
জি 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 ম্যাম।
মানে আপনি নিজে কি এটা কথাতে এটা বুঝতে পারেন যে এটা মানে কিভাবে মানে এটা হচ্ছে মানে আপনি নিজে কি কখনো এটা অনুভব করেছেন নাকি আপনি ওটা অটোমেটিক্যালি এসে যায়?
ম্যাম এটা যখন আমি ওই নিজে একা
নাদিম
একাই চর্চা করি ভিতরে, ম্যাম
হ্যাঁ,
আমি
হ্যাঁ।
যখন ভিতরে ভিতরে যখন আমি নিজে একাই চর্চা করি তখন সেই ক্ষেত্রে অন্যরকম হয়। আবার যখন
হুম।
আপনার সামনে বা ক্লাসে এসে বলি সেই ক্ষেত্রে আর আরেক রকম হয় ম্যাম।
আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা ১ মিনিট give me a moment. Wait. শিল্পী? ও তুই বেরিয়ে যাবি আবার? হ্যাঁ? ও বেরিয়ে যাবি? Yes, right. Oh, I didn't mute myself. Okay. Um, uh, so, এটাই কিন্তু বলতে চাইছিলাম যে যখন হ্যাঁ, আমার কাছে বলছেন আমি বুঝতে পারছি কিন্তু ওই জিনিসটা কাটাতে হবে। আমার কাছে বলছেন তাতে কি হয়েছে? আমি কি আমি মানে এরকম এটা তো নয় যে পরীক্ষার হলে বসে বলার মতো এই জিনিসটাকে আনবেনই না। ওইটাকে না নিজের সমস্ত অনুভূতি দিয়ে যেরকম ভাবে বলা যায় ওই বলার চেষ্টাটা ওই চেষ্টাটা করতে হবে। যেন মনে হয় যে হ্যাঁ, আপনি আপনার নিজের সমস্ত অনুভূতি প্রকাশ সহই আপনি কথাটা বলছেন, ভাষাটা বলছেন, ইউজ করছেন। এই জিনিসটাকে আনার চেষ্টা করতে হবে একটু করে মামুন। বা নাদিমের ক্ষেত্রেও তাই বলছি। আচ্ছা, সো নাও নাদিম, could you go through the link that I sent yesterday?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Nadim, I couldn't hear you. Oh, actually, oh, sorry. Yes. Now you can speak. Speak up.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, uh, you can describe it as the way you understood it, and of course you should say the story as well. And after listening to the story, what did you feel about it, and what is the thing that you understood after reading the whole story? Describe it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now I'm telling a story, and when I watch, uh, listen these videos, it made me very uh,
Listen, when
sad
I
because
listened to the video, Nadim, when I listened to the video, when I was listened to when I listened to the video, because you yourself listened to the video, right?
yes, ma'am. Yes. When I listened to the videos, it made me very sad, and it was really pathetic uh, ending. So the story, very beginning, a husband and a wife uh,
At the very
live.
beginning.
If at the very beginning, uh, a husband and a wife, Henry and Phoebe, they were living very happily, uh, a very long time, and they have a own world. Like there there had a pigs and chickens, uh, cornfield, many trees, and they love they love each other, mm, very much. and
Loved each
always,
other.
yes, ma'am, loved each other very much. And his Henry's wife, that means Phoebe, she always uh, said that if you can't follow my words, or if you uh, don't listen my words, I leave, I leave the place, or I leave you.
I
Uh,
will leave you. I will leave you
if
one day.
I will leave you. Then, but Henry always thought that if she died, how can how can he he live? He lives, and his his wife Phoebe always said this sentence, and it was the common sentence. Uh, so one day, his wife Phoebe uh, fell sick, and after that she she died. But
Fell sick. She fell sick,
she,
not feel sick. Fell sick.
she fell sick and
অসুস্থ হয়ে
she
পড়া, হ্যাঁ?
died.
পড়া তো ফেল,
Yes,
ফল, ফিল নয়, ফিল নয়, ফেল, ওকে?
yes, ma'am. Fell sick and she died. But Henry couldn't couldn't believe uh, her wife her wife died. Then
Nadim, this
he was
sentence you can make it. Nadim, listen to me. You can make this sentence in a better way that he couldn't believe his wife to be dead. Okay, he couldn't believe his wife to be dead. This is a better way you can use the sentence.
he couldn't believe his wife uh, dead, ma'am. It is right, ma'am.
To be dead.
To be dead. And Henry always tried to engage with many works, because when he came back his home, he felt lonely, and it's uh, uh, continuing. And when he sleep in bed, uh, he always thought that uh, his wife mm, his wife came, but this was the shade of uh, windows, so shade of door, and it was continuing 6 or 7 months. After that, uh, he he woke up a new thought, and the thought was, um, he he thought uh, previous uh, previous day they are quarreling with a corn pipe. That's why his wife leave uh, leave his home,
Left him,
uh,
left him, left
left,
him.
left his home, and that's why that's why Henry go outside and asked his neighbor, "Have you seen my wife Phoebe?" So all the neighbor knew that she already died. That means Phoebe already died, and uh, Henry also thought that Phoebe had a friend, Matilda. She and she he going he was going his Matilda's home, and uh,
He went to Matilda's home, not going. He went to Matilda's home.
he went the Matilda's home, and asked him uh, uh, where is Phoebe? Is um, was was she came or not? Then
Did she come or
Matilda
not?
did she come or not? She Matilda replied that um, no, and you are old age, so you need fruit, and uh, rest as well. But uh, Henry uh, getting off and told that I'm going I I'm going to mm, I am going to found uh, my wife Phoebe.
Going to find my wife, Phoebe.
Point Phoebe. Then then uh, one day um, he was going to top top of a hill, um, and he also uh, saw that his wife shade, and uh, the shade was talking with t- talking with him, and um, that was that was the hallucination of uh, that was the hallucination conversation, and he listened.
Hallucinating conversation, Nadim. Hallucinating conversation.
Hallucinating conversation, and he heard that his wife calling him, and uh, he also replied that I will come, please don't go anywhere. Then uh, he jumped uh, from the hill, and next morning his neighbor his neighbor people are found this as a
Neighbors found. Neighbor people.
neighbor
You don't need to use
uh,
neighbor people. Neighbors
na-
found dog.
neighbors found his dead body, and uh, his body and his face was like a um, it's like a smile face, and it was similar like uh, his his wife face. Then uh, the story was end, and uh, if I can
The story
summarize the
came to
whole
an end. Nadim, the story
yes,
came to an end.
the story came to attempt, and uh, the moral of the story that when we uh, we lost some when we lost our uh, relative or near near person, we cannot believe
Acha,
his
loving, our loved, beloved one.
our our,
Okay,
our
beloveds,
yes ma'am,
beloved.
our beloved one. We cannot believe that he or she died, and and we always remember him because uh, we really love there, because and they spend time that was uh, memorable, and we always uh, remember this uh, moment or event.
All right. Yep, of course, that we never get to forget them. The people who and the people actually, the people whom we remember more, the people who had many sacrifices in our life and who loved us best, and there was no um, maybe there was no replacement of that place. And whenever those kind of lovable people and our dear ones die, we can't take those things, because there is no one who will be able to love us the way they did. So yes, that's when we lost our mind and we miss them more and more. Yeah. mm, So speaking of this, as Mamun also said and Nadim also said, okay, Nadim, even when you were speaking, could you understand, Nadim, that you were also using extra sounds and there was a way that you were speaking that there was no fluency? Could you understand, Nadim, that you were speaking in a different language and you are not comfortable with it? Did you understand it while speaking?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I understand, and it. Uh, I think it is lack of confidence, ma'am, and plus,
Yes, it's the lack of
I'm
confidence.
yes, ma'am, and I'm uh, some month or irregular. That's why, ma'am, it happened.
Okay, Nadim. No, actually, that's one reason, and another reason maybe, not maybe, it's another reason. Basically, I also feel it in the from my core, my deepest way, that the main reason may be that you are feeling this way because or getting lost, getting a bit confused or getting not much confidence while speaking, both of you, because you are not being able to, you don't speak to others without this class. Okay. And if there is a person and you think that yes, we are friends and the other person will not judge me even the way I'm talking to him, I have also, I also have one of my friends. Yes, Nadim.
ম্যাম, আমি যখন একটু মানে ফ্লুয়েন্সি দিয়ে কথা বলার চেষ্টা করি তখন দেখা যাচ্ছে যে গ্রামাটিক্যাল মিস্টেক আরো বেড়ে যায় ম্যাম, যার কারণে একটু স্লোলি বলার চেষ্টা করতেছি, বাট তারপরেও তো ম্যাম গ্রামাটিক্যাল মিস্টেক অনেক। এই জন্য ম্যাম এটা আগে এরকম হইতো না ম্যাম। আগে ম্যাম দেখা যাচ্ছে যে কথা বলার ধরনটা আরেকটু হয়তো ভালো ছিল, যা বুঝতেছি।
Ji Nadim, actually, the writing, the way that you wrote before, it was better. It was far more better actually. And I don't know if you will be disheartened or not, but it has not increased since. Rather, it has decreased because there is genre, which type you prefer more, and even while reading any book, which kind of story book that you like more, or while maybe while you are uh, uh, watching a movie, what kind of movie you watch, you like more. There is like, for me, if there is a romantic movie and if the hero or heroine dies in that movie, and that means that if that movie has a tragic end, then I like the movie more than the movie who's have the like happy ending. And or maybe they break up or all those things, so then I will like that movie more. And like for detectives and like action movies, I like all of those. So what about you, Mamun? Can you express about the story books and the movies, both?
Ma'am, firstly, I liked very much the detective movie because when I saw a detective movie or TV show, I feel very better because it's my dream. I want to be a detective person. I think it's very more preferable for me because I love it very much. And secondly, ma'am, I love to read uh, social novel. That's been, ma'am,
Social novel? What kind of social
ma'am,
novel? Like, can you give an example? I will understand, I guess.
social novel means which novel described uh, our our who is who is Nobel described our rural people livelihood, ma'am. This type of.
Oh, okay, okay. So, do you like Sharath Chandra Chattopadhyay's novels then? Have you gone through his novels?
জি ম্যাম, শরৎচন্দ্র চট্টোপাধ্যায় and বিভূতিভূষণ বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়.
Okay, okay. So, they are your favorite writers. Okay. And have you gone through Somoresh Mojumdar's writings?
No, ma'am, but I heard this. He was very famous writer and he was a very famous detective books. And ma'am, but
No, no, not
I'm
Somoresh. That's not Somoresh Mojumdar. That's Satyajit Ray. Mamun. That's Satyajit Ray, not Somoresh Mojumdar. Somoresh Mujumdar actually writes about the stories of it's like of common people, like the people who actually are who live in a very, the three ratno, which means Kalbela, Kalpurush, Uttoradhikar. Maybe you have heard of them, right?
জি জি জি
Yes, so this one was right by these three novels. The marvelous novels was written by Shamaresh Mujumdar. Okay, Mamun. So carry on, carry on. I'm sorry that I was disrupting you, interrupting you. Right, you carry on.
That's why, ma'am, both of them I love very much because when I went through the social uh, social novels, it made me very good. And when I went through the detective movies or TV show, I feel very much because uh, that type of TV show uh, can sharp our memory. I think it because uh, they show that they find many kinds of criminal, many kinds of things uh, from hidden place. Ma'am, that's why I loved both of them very much.
Okay, Mamun. So speaking of which, as you gone through Sharat Chandra's novels, so did you read Porinita? Did you get chance to read Porinita?
No, ma'am.
Did you go through Devdas?
Ma'am, I went to the Devdas, but I cannot remember it now, ma'am.
Okay, and what about Srikanto?
Yes, ma'am. Srikanto is my favorite novel, ma'am. But I didn't read this novel, but I watch this TV shows, ma'am. But I have a, I, but I collect this book and
Yes, you collected the books. Okay, we'll read one day. Actually, yes, because you have your schedules and all those things. Yes, maybe you don't get much time. That's another thing that can happen. And I will go to Nadim now. What do you feel? What's your favorite genre in movies or in books, in terms of books?
Ma'am, basically, I cannot uh, read uh, novels, but I like to read Ahmad Safa and his novels. But I also read Rabindranath Tagore novels, ma'am.
Which novels, Nadim?
ম্যাম শেষের কবিতা তারপরে ম্যাম basically when I was in a intermediate I read um, many books, because in that time uh, I had enough time to spend with book, but right now I cannot get time to read novel, ma'am. But I will. But I'm trying to read uh, some short stories. But if I get more time, uh, I will read. But I already completed, ma'am. Um, মিসির আলী সমগ্র ম্যাম, পুরোটাই শেষ করছি ম্যাম।
Oh, okay. Misirali, of course. Nadim, did you? But speaking of Misirali, did you
সরি
go
ম্যাম।
through our Humayun Ahmed? Nondito Naruke.
Ma'am, I heard this book name, but I can't read, ma'am. I couldn't read, ma'am.
I have read, ma'am, this book uh, from since 2 or 3 years.
Okay. So how was it, Mamun? How was it?
It was a beautiful story, ma'am, and I cannot remember it now, ma'am. But and the story about, uh, I think the story about the uh, father, sister, or their uh, one father, ma'am. But I cannot remember it now, ma'am.
Yes, I also went through the story when it was lockdown, and I was teaching their student. I again found out that in like for class 12, that I found out that is for Human Ahmed. He got prizes in for many prizes for national prizes for this Nondito Naroke. So I became curious, and before that, even though I read it when I was that in that class, but I couldn't I didn't get that much interest, or maybe I skipped. I couldn't read it. But in that heart-touching movie, but it was about Nondito Naroke. It is very heart-touching. I think it was about a brother, and he was the brother of another from another mother, and he had a elder sister. He had an elder sister, and who was mentally unstable, and there was another person, and yes, she got pregnant without her knowing. So yes, there was this situation, and at last this his brother actually killed this guy who actually did the misdeed. So it was about it. It was actually such a great novel. Yes, and um, I will like to, and if you ever go through the short stories of Rabindranath Tagore, I would like to suggest you go through Konkal. There is a story whose name is Konkal, and there is another one's name which is Jibon Mrito, and another one is Khudito Pashan. These three, this three, they have a mysterious storyline. That's why I love them like the most. There is Jibon Mrito, there is Konkal, and another one. There are short stories of Tagore, and there is one is Khudito Pashan. Khudito Pashan to I read it like maybe 4 or 5 times. Still I couldn't totally get it, understand it. It was such a mysterious story. I don't know if you ever went through. Okay, Nadim. So now, what about the movies?
Ma'am, could you repeat, please, ma'am? Here have network issues, ma'am.
Okay, I said that you already mentioned about the novels, but what about the movies? What kind of or what genre that you like about in movies?
Ma'am, I'm little bit lazy and unromantic, ma'am. I don't like to watch movies, but I like to watch uh, play, ma'am. Natok,
Okay, game. Oh, acha, plays, telefilms.
telefilm, ma'am. And I watch many, ma'am, plays that that produce Bangladeshi director.
Yes, I get it. I totally get it. But you could also start watching movies, and I assure you that you won't be like you won't be disappointed if you watch those movies. Yes. So I think first I will start by sending you the movies like Fantastic Beasts, the series Fantastic Beasts. You will love the series. Okay. Right. Nadim, what were you saying?
Ma'am, I'm just trying to say when I saw um, a movie, I cannot pay more attention end of the time, ma'am. That's why middle of the position or one third position, I quite these movies, ma'am, to watch.
Okay, I get it. I get it. One thing you can do is that I will give you one movie per week. You can watch a movie like 10 minutes or 15 minutes per day. And when the weekend ends on Sunday, you can like say about that what did you watch in the movie, and you can send as a voice recording, and through my email account, of course, not in the Gmail, not in WhatsApp group, because if you send in WhatsApp group, then others also can like listen to your voiceovers that what you have said. So I want your like honestly, what did you feel about the movie after watching? So I will give one movie for each week, or maybe one episode of any series each week. I think you will be able to manage the time, right?
Okay, ma'am, you can send.
All right then. So I think I will wrap up the class now. And Nadim, you try if you can. Nadim, try if you can make a group in Telegram that where the students of Eastern Route will be all together, and also include me.
ম্যাম আমি কিছু বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম ম্যাম।
Yes, Nadim. Yes, Nadim.
ম্যাম বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম যে আজকে কাল এবং পরশু ম্যাম শনিবার পর্যন্ত আমি ক্লাসে জয়েন দিতে পারবো না ম্যাম। আমার একটা ট্রেনিং আছে ঢাকা ইউনিভার্সিটিতে, তাদের ইনভাইটেশনে যাচ্ছি তো ওখানে ম্যাম। তো এই জন্য কোথায় থাকবো ম্যাম, এই জন্য এটাও একটা টেনশনের বিষয়। তো ওখানে যে আবার ক্লাস করাটা একটু আমার জন্য মানে প্রেশার হয়ে যাবে ম্যাম।
All right, Nadim. All right. Maybe I will